You won the slab. I won. It says CMG. That's how it works. That's how it works. All right, let me make sure. Okay, we are here. We are here. Perfect. 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 All right, guys. So, what we're going to discuss today is how to take your cards like this and make them profitable for you. There's going to be some different things that you need along the way. We are going to discuss how to pack these cards, how to ship these cards, how much you should sell them for. We're going to go over all of those things to make sure that your time is not being wasted. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to discuss the fees for selling on TCG Player. So you guys should see that here now. Just kind of going through it. There's a lot here, right? There's a lot here to digest. However, you guys only have to worry about this top line when you're first getting started. Okay. So when you sell on TCG Player, you're going to start as a level 1 account. That's going to limit the amount of inventory that you're allowed to upload. And as you complete sales, you're going to grow into a level 4 seller. And then you get some really awesome bonuses that we will discuss as the time goes on. So the big thing to pay attention to is this right here. You have a marketplace commission fee. So everything that you sell, you're going to pay a 10.25% fee on that. So just like selling on eBay or TikTok or Mercari, they all have their own processing fees. This one is going to be 10.25%. You're not a pro member. You're not syncing inventory. You're not in the direct program. So none of this applies, but this also does apply here. And that is a 2.5% fee plus 30 cents for the credit card or PayPal processing. So you're going to pay 10.25% and you're going to pay 2.5% plus 30 cents. Now those are calculated separately. And also the fees are subtotal and after taxes. So this fee over here is after tax out the door. This fee is before taxes. So we just got to take that into consideration anytime that we do that. Now here is a handy dandy spreadsheet that I like to use when we're talking about it. Let me move my big O head here. I think I could zoom in a little bit to where you guys can see it. There we go. All right, so we're going to talk about that. Your TCG Player fees are roughly 10%, 2.5% on there. Stamps, Forever Stamp on July 25th is going up to 78 cents for an ounce. You guys should be able to get cheap envelopes. I prefer the smaller envelopes, and I'll show them a little bit later, but they're like postcard size. They're great for sending out individual cards that are not worthy of tracking. You should be able to get a box of 100 for about $3. So it ends up being 3 cents a piece. Top loaders. Standard top loaders. You should be able to get them for about $5 for a 25 pack. That's going to roughly run you 20 cents per card that you're going to send it out on or per order. Okay. And then last but not least, we're going to talk about a little penny sleeve. Just a little plastic film to protect the card. You guys always love it when you get your cards sleeved. Those should run you about $2 when you buy them places. So with that, they're going to come out to about 2 cents a piece. So now if you take the 78, the 3, the 20, and the 2, and you put them all together, it's going to cost you about $1.03 for every envelope that you're going to send out if it's a single card. Does that make sense? Now, if you are witty with Excel, you can make a little sheet over here like I did with these guys here. So we take what we sold the card for. TCG Player's minimum shipping is $1.31. That is the least that you're able to charge. Right as hell, how are you doing? So that's an important thing to know. So they're going to charge $1.31 in shipping at a minimum. I have this Excel sheet that calculates what the TCG Player fee is and our shipping costs. Now, when you look here, you can see my math up here at the top. It calculates the 10.25% and it calculates the 2.5 and it also calculates the 30 cents. So it puts all that in there. So I left it up here at a thing because when you guys get on TCG Player, you're going to notice that a lot of people have cards up there for a penny or 2 pennies or 5 cents or 10 cents. And I wanted to show you this. If you sell a card for a penny and they only order the 1 card, you're going to lose 18 cents. So let's see who can get it. Who can guess? What do you think the minimum that you have to sell a card for to be profitable is? What do you think? 39 cents? Let's see. If you sold a card for 39 cents, you would make 15 cents. I actually believe it's like right at 20 cents. Nope, 21 cents. So at 21 cents, you break even. At 22 cents, you make a penny. So now, because of that reason, when you are first starting off, I would never sell any cards for under 25 cents. And that'll make more sense later when we're talking about padded envelopes and things upon that nature too, okay? So, in the beginning, you don't want to sell any cards for under 25 cents. I don't care what it's listed at. If they got this screen tail online for a penny, you don't sell yours for under 25 cents. You will notice that you'll still sell cards at 25 cents because of the card optimizer and other things we'll get into in later videos. But in the beginning, I just want to show you this so that way you're not putting yourself in a pickle. Now, if you sell a card for $5, so let's say you get a $5 alt or art rare and you sell it. After you pay your fees and after you pay your shipping, you're going to get $4.18. Now you guys see where when I buy cards from you, why I normally offer you 60% trade credit, right? Because they're taking money off of the top whenever I sell it on TCG Player. So that's why you got to make sure that, you know, if somebody is selling a $5 card, you cannot pay more than $4.18 for it. You really want to be around $3. Mike, if you're serious, we could talk numbers and I'll come get it. I'm not afraid to make a drive. You know, if you got 40, 50,000 bulk, I'll come pick it up. So you got to make sure that you can't buy that $5 card for $4 and only make 18 cents on it. You want to make sure that you're buying it around that, you know, around that 50 to 60% mark. That way they make a little money and you make a little money. Bro, I'm serious, Mike. I'm serious. I have drove further for less. So yeah, that's kind of an important thing that we're going to talk about on there. Now, let's actually talk about how do we prepare these cards, right? Well, wait a minute. Before we move on, does anyone else have any questions while we're talking about bulk? Most bulk's not going to sell for $5 a card. So, couple highlights. Don't ever sell it for under 25 cents in the beginning until you find ways to save more money on your stamps, envelopes, top loaders, and sleeves. Or get better pricing on buying your cards. 2, now we're going to cover how to actually protect them. So let me move the ghost out of the way here. So you'll notice that I sell a lot of my cards for 10 cents minimum. Matt, you're not able to comp shipping until you level up as a seller. And TCG Player, even if you do free shipping, TCG Player will automatically make people pay $1.31 if it's under a $5 transaction. But if it was me, until you are in a position to ship cheaper, don't ever waive shipping. All right, so we got this beautiful screen tail. So let's say we sold it for 25 cents. Let's see how we do this. So you're going to take your penny sleeve and you're going to slide it in your penny sleeve. And then you're going to take and you're going to put it in your top loader. Now, there's one more step that we need to do, and I don't have any right handy, but we have to put a little bit of tape over the front top of this top loader so the card doesn't come out in shipping. Please, for the love of everything holy, oh, it already fell off. Please, for the love of everything holy, do not use Scotch tape. Scotch tape, as it goes through a few different temperatures, it's going to get real sticky and gooey, and it's going to be really hard to get off the top loader. and you could possibly damage the card trying to get the scotch tape off. We use masking tape or blue painter's tape. Yep, painter's tape is the way to go, common collector, because it's not going to leave residue on the top loader and it's not going to damage the card. So you just take a little piece. You could actually use a lot less than this, but you just put it right over the top. Now, here's the envelope. Like I said, these are just little 3x5 mailers. If you notice, they are, when you put the card on in there, like it is just perfect, right? It is just perfect. Here's my address if you want to come see me, by the way. We're open 7 days a week from noon to 10 p.m. every day. Jinx, buy me a Coke, Gooch. All right, so here's your paper. We're going to fold it in half. This is your order slip for your customer. We're going to fold that in half, and we're just going to put the top loader right here in the middle, and we're going to fold it up. That way they have an invoice of what you're shipping them. But now we do that on higher priced cards. Yes, Matt. On these, no. And we just got the little licking sticks, and you lick it, you seal it. Make sure you write the address on it first if you don't have a label printer. But boom, there, it's one card, you put your stamp on it, and then it's ready to go out the door. And it's that simple. And anyone who ever ships you cards where they get tore up and they didn't follow these steps, they just don't like you. Because it's so easy. And you might say, well, Bandit, what if they lose my mail? I'm going to tell you, if you are moving enough bulk and a couple letters come missing in the mail, it's not worth it. I'm sorry, it's not worth the headache. You just credit it back. Yeah. Other guy, yes. What if they lose my mail? Then you apologize in TCG Player mail and you credit it back to them. Basically, if the card is under $20, I'll tell you, I don't even check for it. We just credit it back. It's not worth the headache of going back and forth because we don't put tracking on any cards from TCG Player that are under $20. Now, did you see how fast and easy this was to pack, right? It takes a lot to make it that fast and easy. So here's what you can't do. You can't take a stack of bulk and just list this on the internet, right? You can't just list this on TCG Player and be any kind of productive with it. So now here's what I'm going to tell you. Start small. Don't try to do like we did and try to do 50,000 cards at one time. What we typically do is, to start off, I'd start with 1,000 at a time. And all you do is you just take and you sort them by set. So like these are all Prismatic Evolution in this top stack. These are all one piece. These are all going to be OP10. These are Paldea Evolved. You can tell by the PAL. There's Obsidian Flames. The first sort is the easy. You just sort them by what set they're in and you put them into different piles. Makes listing a lot easier too. So then you get all your piles separated. Organize those. And then come back in. And this is where you're going to hate me. But I'm going to tell you, it will save you a lot of time later. Hard alphabetize these. If you hard alphabetize them, when you get the big sheet that has 50, 60 cards on there, they're a lot easier to pull because they're already all in order. So once you hard alphabetize these, you want to hand me a stack? Up there, hand me like that Crown Zenith right up there at the top. Big box. So this is a stack that we're going to have to rescan anyway. But for example, here are Crown Zenith for us. This is a stack of Crown Zenith. As you can see, they are all hard alphabetized. So when we're going through that order and you ordered 1 Switch and 5 Tangula, we have them all here. So this is going to make it to where when you get that order slip at the end of the day, all you got to do is go to the box. All you got to do is go to the box. Like you can see here, ours says Crown Zenith on the top. Put that back over there for me. You go to your box, you pull the cards for that order, and you move on. Now, most of the time, people are not just going to order one card. They're going to order 5, 10, 12 cards. Usually if you're selling them at 25%, you're going to get the people, it is a lot of work. You're going to get the people who order 5 and 10 cards. So you can't put more than 2 cards in a top loader comfortably. So what we're going to do is we're going to count out our 5 cards here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, here's what we do with these. You got your 5 cards, and we do this for up to I think it's 13 cards. You put all of those cards in one sleeve like this, and then you're going to take your top loader, and what you're going to do is you're just going to lay these on top of it like this, and you're going to slide that in, and you're going to seal it up. Just remember, slide and seal. If you use a team bag with it, it's going to hold these cards in a place where they really won't move. And then you wrap this up in your envelope just like we did earlier. The only thing that I will tell you is when you stuff it in the envelope, make sure the top loader is side down. So that way when it runs through the machine, it has this little lip down here so your cards don't get damaged. If you actually take the time to pack it right, they're not going to get damaged and you don't have to pay extra for non-machinable. I will tell you, we ship hundreds of orders a day this way. And, knock on wood, the worst that happens is they come up missing. We probably 1 out of 1,000 hear something about a card being damaged. And the last one was the mail guy actually cut the sides of their envelope open. Yeah, we got pictures of that. That was horrible. But I mean, that's the crash course. That's the crash course. Now let me load up my TCG player. And we're going to go to the inventory section. All right. I just had to make sure I didn't have no customers info up. Okay, screen record. Here we go. So let me move my big ass head up here in the corner so y'all can see. It's easy when you guys actually want to look up cards. Let me move the keyboard back in front, make a mess with the bulk that's here. All right. So you guys could do this in a couple different ways. Let me zoom in just a hair so it's easier for y'all to read. What a dink. Yeah, did you hear that? That was a little loud. So what we normally do is we're going to go here and we're going to select Pokemon. You could do this with Pokemon Japan as well, for the Japanese cards or whatever. But we're going to type in, let's go with that Screamtail. So we're going to go Screamtail. Vinny G, thank you for resubbing up for the 3rd month, my man. I appreciate you. Thank you for the love from the UK. All right, now you could do this. So if you actually hard sort your sets, you could do it this way. You can actually search here, or you could also just say I'm working in this set and pull it up here, and then it'll give you one of everything. But let's say here we found our Screamtail from Paradox Rift, and we're going to click here. It's going to tell you that the lowest listing is for a penny. But now look, so the lowest listing for a penny, but the last sold was 15 cents. So what that tells you is somebody had a play set or they were ordering other cards, and to consolidate their shipping, they ordered it all from the one person who had them all listed. So now what we'll do is we will load this guy up and we're going to go to the Screamtail page. So direct is your goal, right? Direct is where you're going to get once you hit level 4 and you have the right inventory, but we're not going to talk about that yet. Let's come down here. So you got the lowest listing with 1 penny with a total of 3. The next is 6 cents with a total of 6. There's not a lot of play sets here. There's one person on the front page that has more than a few of them. And they have them for 8 cents a piece. So that's where I was saying earlier, like, you don't sell them at the low. You sell them at what is profitable for you. And then let's do this. Let's look at the 3-month snapshot. So, you got them selling at 15 cents. Another 15, another 9. You got reverse foils for up there. So like this person sold 30 of them at 12 cents a piece instead of a penny. So, like I said, the biggest thing is you have to mark what the minimum that you want to sell it for is. So if we had them, what we would do is we would say, hey, we're not going to sell ours for less than 25 cents. And when you begin, you're not going to have the My Store section, and then you're going to put the quantity of them that you have here. And then when you're done, you'll hit save right here at the top. As you can see, we have over 25,000 cards listed ourselves right now. And then, you know, just to kind of show you what it looks like. And this is why I was saying hard alphabetizing. So here are some Battle Spirit Saga cards, not Pokemon. But notice they are all in alphabetical and then set. So I'm sorry, set and then alphabetical. So they're all going to be together. So when we want to do Pokemon, let's say you're working on a big box of Crown Zenith like I had earlier. Let me find Crown on here. Crown Zenith. Boom. So we're going to go ahead and hit search. And they are all alphabetized here. So that's why I was saying earlier, if you hard alphabetize your cards, you can list them here. And it is so much easier because then you could do, boom, there's all my Chatots. There's all my Cherubis. Yes, you could sell code cards on here too. There's Crushing Hammer followed by Digging Duo. You can do, it just makes it so much easier when your stuff is sorted. Our Roka is never not running, Miss Bandit, unless we're behind on orders. So, but you know, but that's the thing. Like, it is that easy. It is that easy to begin selling on TCG Player. Now, regardless if you sign up for TCG Player as a individual, if you sign up for it as a business, you know, what you do sell at the end of the year will, like, you will have to claim it on your taxes if it's enough. So I am not giving you business advice and I am not giving you tax advice. This is just how you could start selling your cards on TCG Player to make a little bit of money back. Now, there's a couple things that we need to discuss, and that is shipping thresholds with TCG Player. So with TCG Player, if your total sale is $20 or higher, they ask that you put shipping on it. So that's a padded envelope, that is a small box, that is with a shipping label. I will tell you, do not go directly through the post office. Find you a pirate ship or another shipping service. This is not sponsored, by the way, just to save a little bit of money. And that's going to add a whole nother scenario to our shipping, because most shipping labels that are going to be an ounce or 2 ounces are going to end up costing you $4 to $6 to ship, depending on where you're at in the country. Now, the benefit to that is it is insured. So if it comes up missing, you typically get your money back for it. Yeah, sponsor us. I agree, Miss Bandit. And that's kind of the beginning of it. That is kind of the beginning of it. Does anyone have any questions about initially selling on TCG Player, pricing or shipping standards for that matter?